Hello, today I am going to do a video about the 4th of July, the Penumbral eclipse that is coming up about 9:48, I do believe, p.m. on Saturday the 4th of July. And just as a backdrop, I live in a RV park part-time. My husband works in California, and we basically moved here last year and decided at this time to just live in our fifth wheel. So I live in an RV park in a fifth wheel, thus tiny home living that I've mentioned previously. And we made this decision because, well, I do astrology, and as an astrologer, excuse me, I dropped one of my cards, and as an astrologer, I have been, well, I'm a student of astrology, and I am basically, I'm an intuitive, I'm an astrologer, I'm an empath, and I have been, like a lot of you, watching the situation unfold that we are currently in. And I feel like when we had our election in 2016, I felt like my feet were glued to a train track, and that basically I was watching the freight train come at us. And I've always understood that the significance of this election and the times that we're in has some it's very serious. It's just, to put it mildly, it's just quite serious. The sea of discontent, and of all things, we're going to have on the 4th of July a penumbral eclipse. And today, while I was I get up very early in the morning and do my laundry, because at the park it's first come first serve in the laundry room. And so I try to just get in and get out as early in the morning as I possibly can. Well, so today at the laundry room, you meet people, and there is always the talk. And in the laundry room, we are required to wear masks, which I don't mind wearing my mask if that's the best we can come up with right now. And, well, I don't know what the best is, but I know that for me, that feels like the only option I have. And what I came away with from just a brief visit in the laundry room was something that's been on my mind anyway. And that is that we are in a place, a time, a situation where we're like a powder keg. And to think in some ways that in a few days on Saturday, we're going to have an eclipse. And we're going to have fireworks, potentially, of a celebratory type. But I can't help but feel like that it's going to be something even different still. I feel like the 4th of July is going to be a surprise. Now, I don't know what kind of surprise. So really, essentially, what I'm asking the cards to tell me today is, what is it that I'm sensing? What is it that we can anticipate coming on the 4th of July? Now, this is the third eclipse in the last last little bit of time. We've had two others. So, you know, it's been highly ecliptic. And why does it matter? Well, a lot of astrology, the way we calculate and look at a chart, has to do with looking at polarities, angles, specifically angles, and how the planets interact. What is their types? How do they interact? And what's interesting is we're in unknown territory. We are truly in officially new water. And what does that mean? Well, I think anytime things change, we all feel like, oh my goodness, what's going to happen? And well, I guess I'm no different than anybody else. I'm feeling like, oh my goodness, what is going to be the outcome? And so I just want to know, what is the 4th of July looking like? How is it going to come out? We have this virus playing a part in how we manage things. I'm using the wild unknown since, well, this is really truly a wild unknown moment. We don't know. And what I'm coming up with is a completion cycle. It's as if we've gone through a process, and by the time we're done, we will actually come out as something different. We went in as one thing and we morphed into something else. And is this change? What is this change? Well, I know we're morphing. I don't know why we're morphing exactly, because, well, that's not my place, I guess. But we are very much creatures of change. And this here is a 9 of Wands, okay? And it's followed by, interesting, a 9 of Cups. And take note of the moon up in the corner being either a semi-moon or semi-covered for the eclipse. It's as if it's a completion cycle. And on the other side of it is something quite a bit more loving, a little bit more kind. I do feel like we have just run out of kindness. So our change, our metamorphosis is being crossed by yet another completion cycle that is quite a bit more loving and kind. Now, as above, we have been like prey in this situation that we are in with this virus. I had a farm and I had horses, and the one thing that for myself that I found completely wonderful in a horse is that I identified with that sense of victimhood that horses often feel, like they are constantly watching to be sure that there's no prey about, and up to and including human prey. Their whole premise is to be safe from all things dangerous, including people. And here is this horse in his most truest sense, the prey. And the 5 cups, the 5 of cups, what is that? Well, I think that we as people have felt that this virus upon us is like, it is sort of like, it is a form of, we feel victimized. We feel victimized by the virus. And what we also feel like is we feel set up. We feel like somebody outfoxed us. Someone came up with a way. Now, that doesn't mean it's true, mind you. I understand that it's easy to feel, when you don't have the facts. And my sister, thank God for my sister, pointed out to me, she is a counselor and provides therapy to people who have drug problems. And what she said to me, which was just so beautifully true, is that if you don't know the answers to things, what we end up doing is filling in the blanks. And I think that that's largely what this card represents, is that energy where we know things are wrong. We don't know what's wrong. We don't know why it's wrong, but we know it's wrong. And we're all uncomfortable. And this is us filling in the blanks. And we don't have all the information yet. We have yet to get all the information. And right now, for us, it is feeling like, again, this Nine of Swords, yet another completion process. It feels like we're being chopped from the sky. It feels like we're being reduced to half of what we were at one time. And we're being asked to chop away at things that no longer serve, to gain a new perspective. And having three completion cards all next to each other. Fascinating. How it's going to come out? Well, as we move along, we are going to toast cups. We are going to have a celebration on the 4th of July. How it will go? Well, let's hope it goes well. But at the heart of it is some discontent. We're going into the 4th in a largely discontent state of being, because, well, we don't know. One, we don't know why we have this virus. We don't know why we're being asked to wear masks. We don't know why when we get asked to wear masks, people in public that are asking us to wear masks aren't necessarily wearing masks. We're being asked to examine whether or not science knows what it's talking about, or whether or not they're telling us stories, because we're being asked to think about everything. And we're in divine discontent right now, because, well, how could we not be in divine discontent? And again, we got all four completion cards in the nines. We got the 9 of Wands. Divine discontent right now. We are just feeling like we've been raked through it, and we don't know where the beginning is and where the end is, because, well, the nature of this issue is really bringing us to question, where are we, who is in charge, and how do we go forward? Which leads us to on high, in our hopes and fears, the High Priestess. Is this virus here for some sort of spiritual awakening to us? Well, I would not at all be surprised if this virus isn't here to help us as humans wake up, because we have been in a state of stupor. We wouldn't be here right now if we hadn't been in a state of stupor. Our lack of awareness of our circumstances has led us to where we are. And not to say that my awareness is any higher than anyone else's. It probably is not. The only thing that I can say in terms of awareness is that I have a sensitivity that brings things to my purview, that makes it a little bit more available to me, but it is also very much available to anyone. One just needs to ask. But right now, the way I'm seeing it is that the energy of this time and the 4th of July and this virus is a culmination of many things, and it is coming from on high in our hopes and fears position. And because I'm seeing the High Priestess, I don't know whether to be frightened or to be excited, because there's something we don't know. Something hidden is coming on the 4th of July. Therefore, I will ask this question in an additional, as an additional question, because that is, why the High Priestess? Clarifying, I need to know. In our conclusion area, we have the Daughter of Pentacles. It's as if the earth itself is speaking to us at this time about many things. You know, do I get a plastic bag, or do I buy a canvas bag? Do I keep my lights on even though I don't need to, or do I turn them off? There are so many questions right now, and even I myself have struggles when I go into the store and I forget my canvas bag, Do I get a bag, or do I just take my cart out to the car and put my things in my canvas bags, because I can no longer afford to take for granted the way I interact with the earth itself. I think we are being asked to look at that. We are being asked to think in terms of a more loving action, a more kind way. And what the Daughter of Pentacles is crossed by is the Father of Cups, this more loving energy that wants to come in and recapture the house and the home, the happy family, that very Cancerian energy, the loving king. At the bottom of the pack is the Ace of Pentacles. Again, the 4th of July, the end of one cycle, this eclipse. It's as if the earth is going to renew itself. So could we experience something unexpected? And that is largely the belief that we will maybe experience something unexpected. And additionally, at the bottom of the pack, I have the infinity, the butterfly, the transformation. Yes, we could experience something dramatic on the 4th of July. Now, to clarify the High Priestess in our hopes and fear position, here we have the High Priestess. What spirit is this High Priestess in the hopes and fears position on our 4th of July, this Penumbral eclipse? Tell us, Spirit, what is it that's going on? And okay, so we have this giving and receiving of information, the sharing of information, the sharing of ideas, people coming together. And that is being additionally, with the High Priestess, a Four of Swords. The pressure is about palpable. We are feeling like we are laying on our deathbed and a sword is pointing at us, and if not going through us. We do feel a maximum amount of pressure. And pressure is not bad. Pressure is meant to bring us to change. Which brings us to an Eight of Cups, which we are feeling the loss. We are feeling a sense of loss, a sense of hopelessness, a sense of darkness. We're feeling a sense of brokenness right now. High Priestess card, please tell me, Spirit, where we're going with this. But there will be information coming forward. There will be something that comes forward on this incident, and it will be like a thief in the night. So what I say is this, is if you have the option to take care of yourself carefully on the 4th of July, be mindful, be aware of where you're at, who you're with, what you're doing. Myself personally, I'm going to go nowhere and do nothing. I can watch fireworks on TV if I need to. I don't think that people right now are in a frame of mind that it's worth taking a lot of risks for. If you've ever been around horses or had horses, as I have had, a frightened horse is a dangerous horse. And we have a lot of frightened horses right now. There's a lot of dangerous horses out there. And so with that, I conclude. I would ask that you please hit the like, share, and subscribe button. And if you would like a reading, please contact me on Twiggy, twiggie.com. And for astrology readings as well, I do a full spread of astrology readings, as well as my specialty is past life readings and past life work. And with that, I conclude, and I thank you for joining me here today.